HiFIghtIQ, presented by Expanse Energy.
Welcome back to this week's edition of HiFIghtIQ. I am Brad Barnes, joined today by Professor Bruno Bastos, Gi and No-Gi World Champion, and making Gi and No-Gi World Champions right here at Bruno Bastos Jiu-Jitsu Academy in Midland, Texas. How's it going?
Everything great. We start training again.
And you say again, it's 1 week after Worlds. The stress has come down a little bit.
Yes. Now I'm more relaxed. Worlds, like, I don't know, maybe the whole weekend of Worlds, like from when we arrived there to when we left there, maybe 15 hours put together as sleep. Like from Tuesday to Monday.
So we can say we're back from Worlds, you're rested, have time to reflect and put together some thoughts and stuff. So that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. First off, one of the big things coming out of Worlds, let's start with a lot of the good news. We got Musa Messi, fourth American to win a world championship at black belt adult. That's a huge deal. I know Americans are making a very big deal of it. Do you feel like it's worth the Americans being so excited about, or is jiu-jitsu so well spread?
It is huge. It's not huge only for the United States. It's huge for jiu-jitsu that he won, because a lot of people are like, oh, let's make jiu-jitsu Olympics. Like, how you make something Olympic that like 10 weight classes, like 9 weight classes plus the absolute, and then like one country is a gold medalist, you know? So I think it's huge for jiu-jitsu. Like I was like going for João because, man, the kid's now third year in a row like second place, you know. And he's a nice kid, but Musamesh is a nice kid as well. And for jiu-jitsu was like great that he won. So I was happy for him, but happier for jiu-jitsu that he won.
I mean, it's a big deal anytime. I think it was exciting for people to then have a winner and then everybody talked about it. No matter their gym affiliation or whatever, everybody's congratulations, tagging him on Facebook, Instagram. So it seems like it helped people get a little bit of pride, and maybe that puts a thought in a lot of these young people's mind, hey, I can do it too.
Like if you think like from when BJ Penn won his world title in 2000, from when Rafael Lovato Jr. won in 2007, so have Robert Drysdale on that middle, and then a lot of people gonna argue like, oh, well, how Robert has a Brazilian mom, live like his childhood in Brazil, because a lot of people talk that. But anyway, whatever, he's American. So 2000, 2007. Then you have 2007 to 2017. So 2007 to 2000 to 2007, you had 3 Americans winning, which was huge. But then 2007 to 2017, you had Bill Cooper being the new hope, and then have like JT, Keenan, like Edwin, like lot of people that they could make it. Some still can make it. I believe they still gonna make it, but they haven't made it, you know. So when Musamesh won there, I think was huge, not only for the United States, but the whole jiu-jitsu community.
So looking at that, for the division he's in, the people that decided to step away from the division, I mean, does he have a good opportunity to repeat next year?
Always gonna be tough. If Farias come back again, I was the previous world champion, so it was a guy like was like neck to neck. João Miao always gonna be next. So if he does repeat, then gonna be even more impressive because the level of competition is big on that division.
Looking over at another division, and then actually the absolute for all divisions, Buchecha again, most dominant jiu-jitsu fighter in the world right now, or of all time?
It's hard to say of all times because you're gonna, like I was talking about that with my students at World Championship, you're gonna see a guy like Amaury Bitech, 10 years without get a point score on him on a black belt. And then he didn't, like, unfortunately for him, the last 3 years of his career, that's when he competed Worlds because he didn't have Worlds before.
Right.
Or you're gonna see guys like my respect who went white to black belt without a point score on him. You know, and I was there when the first guy ever scored a point on him. It was Roberto Correia, Gordo, the father of the half guard, you know. So, and it was a half guard sweep.
I've watched that match a lot.
You know, so, but it's, yeah, like if you think about like how those guys, like how we don't think about those guys,
right?
You know, and then like,
so you would say it's more generational.
Yeah, it is hard to say. I'm thinking like I think Bochecha is in an era that the competition is way harder because they have a lot more people, a lot more high level people. It's not like back in the day. It was like Rio de Janeiro and then São Paulo a little bit, south of Brazil a little bit, and then Manaus. Like so, but was Brazil, and then people started coming to the United States, and then you start building here. Very first World Championship, I remember '96. Igan Inoue won. Igan Inoue, he won the blue belt, and he was the only one non-Brazilian to win in a blue belt level. And then like people were like, wow, we have American that won.
Blast from the past, Igan Inoue. Yeah.
Yeah, but like people don't even talk about him. For me, it was great what he did. Like, and then that's one thing that I talk a lot with my students about. Like talk to you like how people don't know history. Like how you do something that you say that you love and you don't know history, you know. So if we go back to Musumeci, it was huge. But talking about Bochecha, I see he's being able to do if he wants. I see him be able to do another year of like double gold. Of course, have athletes that can beat him.
When you talk about athletes that can beat him, I mean. The names that come to a lot of people's forefront of their mind would be like Leandro Lo for Absolute, Bernardo Faria. If you were going to build somebody to beat him, if you had to find the perfect person or make somebody out of like a Frankenstein, what would you try to bring? Like what would beat Bochecha?
Of the athletes that are competing right now?
The athletes that compete, or just like if you had to build the perfect athlete, say, you know what, you're going to beat Bochecha, but in order to do this, you have to be able to do these things.
Would be low style if like a bigger low or a bigger Rodolfo Vieira. Like I think because are the guys that give him more trouble, but being smaller, you know. And then the guys that are like Bochecha's size that give him trouble, they have a little bit of that with Lo or Rodolfo, but not the intensity, not the pace, not the creativity, like the improvising inside the match, you know. But for the guys that are competing right now, I see like Herbert Santos for sure is a guy that he can become that guy, but the guy that are really bad on, if he keep doing the way he's doing, is Muhammad Ali. For me, of the new generation, he's the best athlete. Guys, I'm not saying best jiu-jitsu competitor, best jiu-jitsu fighter.
Athletic ability that he puts into his game.
He is the best athlete, and he's improving his jiu-jitsu a lot. He's improving his wrestling for jiu-jitsu. He's improving his judo for jiu-jitsu. Lord even is able to put him to train with high-level wrestlers, with high-level judokas, even Olympic medalists. So he's being invested to be the guy. And with his athletic abilities, I think, like this year already, he made quarterfinals, lost to Bochecha, and then made semifinals of his division, lost to Ebert. But last year was his first Worlds. He didn't place anything. Now he got close to placing absolute, or place on his division. Next year, who knows what's gonna happen?
I mean, he's just gonna mature and get better and better.
Yeah.
That's scary.
For me, think about compete adults. Yes, it's scary.
So you know, moving from, I mean, that stuff's awesome to talk about. So now you got to get into a lot of the haters, the online talk. So every time there's World Championships, and let's not even say World Championships, every time there's a match that's on Flow Grappling, Facebook Live, whatever, people come out of the woodwork and start griping, complaining about stuff. Do you think that refereeing overall is going good, or do you think that there needs to be a real examination from people that run these tournaments about the people that are refereeing and the standards that they have for them?
I think they're working a lot, and like BJJF works a lot to improve the referees, and I think they're improving a lot. 90% of the people to 95% of the people that are complaining, they haven't been on the last, or that's in the last few rules meetings. And then like, so a lot of people complain about stuff that is not like advantage or point or penalty.
Because they're thinking what used to be.
Yeah, exactly. Or what I think. No, it's not what you think. It's like, so, or go there, like, I don't ref anymore. I prefer to, because if I ref, I cannot coach my students. So I don't ref anymore, right? But go there and be a ref one day. That's like, I'm telling you guys, like, oh no, black belts match. Like, a lot of times, let's say you're gonna fight like Buchecha and Muhammad. I had the quarterfinals there. How many referees step into like, hey, no, I'm taking this match?
Yeah, nobody.
You know, like, that's why. So the best one referees they are there doing their job. But then comes another problem, which I think then is a IBJJF problem. They made the World Championships in 4 days. So I wasn't there to compete. I got there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday before 9 a.m. And at Penance was the same thing.
Right.
So Penance and Worlds, 4 days event.
Matches start at what times?
It started at 9 a.m. So I get so you get there before 9 a.m. because you have students going at 9 a.m. So you get there like between 8:20. So students warm up, acclimate, everything, right? And then I left the building like 9 p.m. a little bit after 9 p.m. The earliest that I left at Penance was 8:45. I remember looking at my clock.
So we're talking minimum 12 to 13 hours.
Yeah, but I'm saying I was leaving the building. It wasn't the referees leaving the building because there was still matches going on.
Right. It's a long day.
So why not 5 days event or even 6 days event? Like, oh, yeah, more money, man. Like people put in a lot of money. They invest a lot of money. IBJJF invests a lot of money in a lot of stuff. I think they should invest more on that as well, because if you're working like 12, 13 hours a day, the referees, they have to be there before 8.
Right.
I know because I ref before, and my brother does ref now, so they have to be there by 8, and they leave when everything is over. So it's not 12 hours a day. It's like 14 hours a day maybe.
And you lose your focus a little bit. You're tired. You're not paying attention.
So imagine like when it comes like Sunday, that were like, now is the main event, quarters, final, semi-final, final match, and then mentally the referees, they are done. That's my view. That's my view. I didn't ask any of them. It's just my view.
But you've been there.
Yeah, and that's my view, because me as a coach, when it comes on Sunday, I'm done already. And it's the same for you. Like, imagine you have, and then all day you have all the head coaches on your mind. Ref, what is the advantage, ref? What is the point, ref? The penalty, ref? Hey, the table didn't stop that time, ref.
And if you've made a mistake, now you think about that all the time. Everything.
Exactly. And then like in some cases now, so I talk about the hours. Now we're gonna go for other thing. So other situation, people go in and complain, like, so you have three refs, all three see the same thing, but you're the right one.
Right. Absolutely.
You know, when like two give one thing, another one give another thing, and they're like, oh, okay.
It's subjective. It's a little bit of opinion.
And then like now, so I talk about that, the three refs. Now we go to the finals match. The final match have three refs and a replay. So when three refs is there and a replay, and every single person, that means 6 refs. Because I have 3 there, 2 on the camera, and 1 that comes like when they have to check.
Right.
So 6, but you are the one right.
And I mean, I think people look. You brought this up. I saw you bring this up about your good friend Ricardo Demenche.
Mm-hmm.
He competed for Fight to Win. People saying, "Hey, I don't see how he lost the fight." Whatever you say, "Hey, love the guy, love him to death, great friend. However, I got to look at this from this take back and not be emotional and give an opinion." I mean, it's just emotion at this point, right? Most of these people are just getting upset because that's my team, that's my coach, that's my teammate.
I had a student now, it was Nestor Jimenez. Man, the kid was doing awesome and winning the match, and then the referee stopped the fight. So the kid was going to the wrong side, And it was like, well, kid got DQ, National won.
Right.
He DQ National. Because for him, National was the one going. I didn't say anything for the rep. What I gonna say? Like, is what I gonna say for the kid?
Right.
Because it's his dream, right? So if I think there was a mistake, yes, or a mistake. I challenge you to go on my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everything. See if I was like, oh, this and that. Oh, because he's American, he was fighting a Brazilian kid. Was a Brazilian half?
Right.
Well, happened. Like what we're gonna do? We're gonna keep training. Where I spoke, he's a great kid, has great mindset. We're gonna keep training, and next time we're gonna come better prepared, so he can finish the fight with another situation, and then doesn't have that problem. And that's it.
I mean, it makes sense.
Because if you control, that means that you don't leave in anybody else control the situation.
You take ownership of the situation.
Exactly.